by. And back in the toy biz days, there was articulated fingers, articulated toes, you know. And I was wondering, is that
You
something?
like the articulated toes?
I like articulated toes. Yeah. So.
This is exclusive.
Hey. Beige walls, wood grain floors, all white cars full of red ass whores.
So I'm trying to keep stuff in chronological order, but understand we was kind of, indulging a lot throughout the weekend, so some things are a blur and I don't remember how some things happened. But that one little picture that I just showed was the only picture or video I think I had from, I believe that was Friday night. We went to this place called the Tilted Kilt. It was sort of like Hooters, but the girls had on like kilts and whatever. And that was the first night that I met Configure. Configure came there with his boy and he met us there. Cool ass motherfucker. I felt like I already knew Configure anyway, because I talked to him on the phone and like I just felt like I already knew him anyway. But Configure came with his boy, and John 3.0 came to meet us there, and we was all there. And before we even actually got a table, we had mad drinks. Slings of Web is just like one of the most generous motherfuckers. He was just buying everybody drinks. We was just all having beers and shots, and this is before we even got to the table. So when we got to the table, we had like more beers. I guess when John 3.0 came to meet us, he was already fired up, because that dude right there is crazy. Yo, he was just going insane. Like, he was just saying whatever was on his mind to these girls as they came up to the table. And like, the one waitress was getting so pissed off with him because he kept making mad titty jokes and just saying mad inappropriate shit. And the shit was so funny for like the first like 15 minutes, and then he was just in full on character mode, doing every voice, doing every character. Shit was crazy. John, you're insane. I mean, it was good to meet you, brother, but that dude was acting crazy, man. And we actually ended up going to the Tilted Kilt like the next day again, like twice, once in the day and in the night, and we had the same waitress or whatever, and we kind of like was like, yeah, I don't know what was up with John, but we don't know what was up with that dude, but we gave her a nice tip and whatever. She was cool, but that was crazy, man. That was crazy. Oh, and that's why I had to have the shot of the Savage Hulk right here, because John was a straight up savage. As part one of this special SDCC Mean Time Inbetween Time is uploading, I'm starting to shoot the little in-between segments for part two. So at the end of part one, you saw a picture there of myself, Witch Wands on the far left, Solid, and Slings of Web. And that was like a little while after I had met Witch Wands for the first time. And what a cool dude, man. What a real cool, down-to-earth, nerdy motherfucker, but a cool ass dude, man. I like Witch Wands a lot. He had came to meet us, and earlier that day I was still running around doing my thing in the chair. I think that day I had rode myself to the con, because I think I left Slings of Web sleeping. And big shout out to Slings and to Ryan and to Junior and to all of these dudes, Solid, that helped me get around throughout the whole week, pushing me around basically. Without them, I wouldn't have even really been able to maneuver. But anyway, I'm all over the place. So Witch Wands came to meet us. He didn't have a ticket to the con, but I had picked up a 3-pack for him on that first night, just in case it sold out before then. And he met us in front of the con, got to meet him for the first time, and then we went back to my hotel while Solid and Slings went inside the convention center so he could pick out, a 3-pack for himself. Basically, I had a bunch of them at the hotel, and you know how we do. We always look for the one with the cleanest paint and, make sure no joints are messed up and stuff. And being that he was there, he had first dibs on that. So we did that, and then he happened to have some cupcakes that were extremely good cupcakes, and I had a piece of that, and then we came back to to the convention center and met up with everybody else, and then I started like doing a little filming and stuff.
It's not my favorite, but when I first did it,
I decided to wait till they put almost everything out before I start filming, but White Iron Fist, don't like the hand. It's basically just the big time Spidey, Future Foundation Spidey, same body. That sash is the same sash that they're using for Psylocke too, I believe. But that hand is just too big, man. I think she came out really nice. Just wish I had an ab crunch, waist swivel. It's a regular Archangel, Red She-Hulk, same body as that other one, but really, really nice sculpt, but it just needs an ab crunch. Definitely not feeling this. I mean, it's a new character, that's great, but teeny tiny Build-A-Figures, I'm not with it. Ultimate Cap came out nice.
was that in October?
Protector. Sentry, which I really like.
I would
Carry and Run a Change.
I would get that in June.
Had a chance to mess around with those last night, actually. So I forgot to mention that they are labeling Wave 3 of Marvel Legends Wave 1 of 2013, and that's the wave that will not have a Build-A-Figure but will have the bases, and then the next wave will be Wave 2 of 2013. And some people was asking about the Red She-Hulk and the Lyra. I didn't say her name in that little segment right there, but the green chick with the red hair is Lyra, and she'll be a Run and Change with the Red She-Hulk. But people were asking if it was this same body, and it's not. Although the build is similar, there are some differences. Now, there is no ab crunch on the two that are coming out, which is disappointing. No waist swivel. It has that upper torso joint, and it looks like it has the T joints at the hips. And the newer ones have a upper bicep swivel, which is good. And I do not think that it has this hinge joint, but I still think the elbows are only single jointed. Now, the look of both of those figures was really, really nice, but I just really want them to just go ahead and add waist swivel and ab articulation to the female body molds. That's pretty much all they would need to make those figures really, really dope. And then they had the the regular version of Angel, which will not come with the shiny wings that'll come on the X-Force exclusive, which is kind of a disappointment. However, because the wings are removable, you can just kind of switch them up if you want to. And then, of course, I was disappointed about the Iron Fist with that hand. They should have switched out those hands. It looks ridiculous. And I actually would have rather them just do them in the green modern outfit. But, I mean, that's cool, too. And like I said, although the Hitmonkey, I'm not a fan of a teeny tiny Build-A-Figure, the figure in itself was actually still really nice and pretty posable. The look of the figure was still good. It was still a clean figure. Ultimate Cap, I thought looked really, really dope, but there was no wrist hinge, which was kind of a disappointment. And like I said, I had at that point I had already messed around with X-Force for a while, and I really, really liked the possibilities with the wings, with Archangel, and the different things that you can do. And I think Wolverine is like my favorite out of that. For a little more footage from that night, we was all hanging out back at the hotel after we was drinking. We was drinking some more, and Realistic was there, and we shot like a little quick impromptu review. It's on her channel of the Archangel. Tipsy review, so you can check that out. I'll link it in this video. Deadpool.
Red sheep.
Dr. Doom is just a repaint. Mystique modern outfit. I like that they gave it a modern outfit, but I'm feeling the figure too much. Definitely not feeling that.
Hitmonkey's a good book too.
Jim Lee, Jean Grey. Came out real nice. So obviously Deadpool is going to be a major attraction for this wave. I think that'll be obviously the most popular character. I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot without including a Build-A-Figure in this wave. Because, you know, unless you're a hardcore collector and a completist, you're probably not going to really go for all the figures in this wave. It's going to be a lot of peg warmers, but phone is ringing. But yeah, the opportunity for people to try to scoop up this red version again and get the gray version to complete X-Force is going to be a big attraction for that wave. Obviously, I'm not feeling the blade, that body mold, that coat, that it just needs to just get thrown in the trash already. Jean Grey I thought looked really nice, but again, the female mode without the ab articulation bothers me. Would have been nice if they would have gave her one open hand or something like that to show her using her telepathy or telekinesis or whatever the case may be. It's nice that we getting an updated Mystique, the modern version, but I don't like that they use that same head pretty much from Madam Hydra. I'm not really feeling that. And again, it's the articulation on those female modes. It's not enough. The Danny Moonstar looks nice. I'm glad they gave her the bow and those other accessories, but once again, the articulation, the lack thereof, is a problem for me. Punisher, I like the head sculpt, but I think it's not proportioned. I think the head is a little big for the body. The upper body looks small, the lower body looks large.
That's the ultimate cut.
Looks kind of weird, but I think the head sculpt came out really, really nice.
His ears were exposed when they did that.
Slings had pointed out that they changed the legs on this Iron Man from when they first showed it. It's too small though. I don't like that it's small. I think U.S. Agent looks great.
He looks really good.
Feature Foundation Doom, which is just a repaint, not a repaint. So yeah. And we should be seeing something at the panel today. So like I said, the Punisher's head looked kind of big for that body to me, but that I already know that's going to be a customizer's dream. They're going to be chopping that guy up, chopping up the coat, putting the head on different bodies, maybe on this body, doing different things. So I guess that's still kind of cool. U.S. Agent I'm definitely excited about. Like I said, it's the Bucky Cap mode with a different head. The head sculpt looks good. It looks spot on to how he looks in the comics, in my opinion. But that's going to be great for trying to do like some West Coast Avengers or Invaders or Mega Flight. So I think that actually might be one of the best figures out of the wave. So I was definitely disappointed about the Doom. It's the same similar situation they did with like that Lord Thor and the Ultimate Cap, where they painted it how it should have been painted, how it should have been painted from the beginning, and just gave you the same figure. I mean, it's nice to get a Future Foundation, but I wanted to see a new mold for Doom. I just want a mold with more articulation and where he could actually sit down. I heard a lot of people like complaining about the Century figure and how it was too big. That was honestly one of my favorite figures that I saw at SDCC, Marvel Legends wise. I thought the figure looked amazing. I thought the figure was dope. And I think it was John Paul Martinez in the Facebook group that said pretty much the same exact thing that I said when I was at SDCC. We needed an update on that figure because you know, this guy is so much smaller than Ares, and when they had the fight, they was about pretty much the same size. When Sentry and Thor had the fight, they pretty much about the same size. So I think that size is pretty spot on. And we were told that that body mold is going to be like the medium strongman mold. So maybe they'll do like a Luke Cage or some other guys with that mold. But I thought the Sentry figure looked amazing overall, which meant that I thought the Hyperion looked really good too. But you know, seeing the stuff on camera or on film or whatever is not really the same as seeing it firsthand. And I got to tell you, pretty much all the figures looked amazing. Now it's just a matter of if they're gonna come out like that after production, because you know we done had some problems with the paint not being as vibrant and as crispy as it is when we see it at the cons. But overall, pretty much all the figures looked really good. It's just a matter of the articulation and maybe some different proportion issues, but I thought the Sentry figure looked great. Had to film this real quick. The little HeroClix Wasp. Definitely use that for some A.C.B.A. I don't know if I'm gonna get it on camera, but Don Cheadle over there, Iron Man 3. Alright guys, we're gonna take photos.
You gon' pay up like my man Troy, talking big man shit, and you a mere boy. I play with big boy toys, you get your ass shot. I'm talking top-notch Glocks like the cops got. Let's get it poppin', I don't wanna talk. I kill a pig, but I don't eat the pork. I speak perfect English, and I street talk and speak a little Spanglish. But when you're talking money, then you're speaking my language. So drugs so you can eat, you're feeling my anguish. Man, fuck being famous, although I am nice. And on these mics, I'm a damn beast. I will line up all your favorite rappers and have a grand feast, and then a piece of quiche, and then a glass of wine. Cause I'm perfectly fine, but I'm getting sicker. You out of line, then I get my blicker. It's just a matter of who could get to theirs quicker. But I got mine, my man, I shot 9s, 22s, 38s, 357s, dirty 8s, Trey 80, the AK. So go ahead, keep fucking with your sensei, like you Karate Kid. I'm from the gutter where we body kids, push the butter out the lobby kids. Wanna be me, I ain't even on TV, but you could Google me. Please tell me how you got a deal yet and still you doodle.
How about a little Thunderbolts action?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I love butt shots.
To add to our library, we are creating a powerhouse 6-inch scaled female figure.
Where's the ab articulation, though, dude?
Instance.
I didn't bother trying to film the whole panel, even though I did film a lot of it. I just said forget it because you can see the whole panel somewhere else. I did get a couple of questions at the end. They did show that they were trying to do like a Jugger Colossus or whatever they're calling them for MU, but again, there was nothing really new for MU that they showed because I'm figuring that the stuff that Dave worked on and the stuff that he did, they could pretty much eat off of that for the next year or so, and those body molds are already intact. Like they could pretty much just keep using the same body molds that Dave put out and put out new characters. This came out of the Hasbro panel. This was like one of the big reveals. They did the Wrecker. I think they should have made his legs a little bigger too. The top half is really, really big, but overall it looks nice. The head sculpt is nice. They continuing in that tradition with the Wrecking Crew dudes. The crowbars nice and painted, so that's good. Overall, I think he looks nice, but I wish the legs were a little bigger if they was going to make the upper body a little bigger. But I wasn't too happy with the whole panel, though. It wasn't that great to me, honestly. Still, some really nice stuff coming out, though. So really not many new reveals as far as the Legends was concerned. Like I said, I didn't think the panel was that impressive. You could definitely see that they were short-staffed. Obviously Dave Honor wasn't there. I think that really brought down the mood a bit. Usually he was kind of the one leading the charge as far as the panels are concerned. So I guess they had Jesse Falcon there to do that this time. And you can see it with some empty seats there. But the only new thing that they showed Legends-wise was the Wrecker, because basically every day of the con they put out a new figure. So that's why I waited till Saturday to pretty much just film the case all at once. So every day they put out a new figure, and then on Saturday after the panel they put out the Wrecker. So that's good news for Legends. And then the other new thing they revealed was the Moonstone, and that medium body mold for the females, like for a stronger female figure. But again, like I said, no ab crunch, no waist swivel. So that was kind of disappointing. I was all laughing at that part when Shardamus was talking, because in another panel he was in like a Transformers panel, and they was like, I think they said something like, we're going to show like bot shots, and he was like, oh, butt shots, I like butt shots, in that Shardamus voice. So when they showed the Moonstone figure and they showed the butt and he said that again, we was just all cracking up right there. Oh, and pause that. Not really sure what the hell they was thinking as far as those Bonkazonk things is concerned. I don't know if you guys saw that at the very beginning, but I didn't try to film too much of that. That was just straight up garbage. I don't know who they marketing that towards. I don't even think kids these days would be interested in something like that. Kids are so much more intelligent and advanced. It's just ridiculous. It's just a stupid idea.
Mean Room is, I guess the easiest way to say is it's on hold till we can find out what or where we can bring it to. We had originally talked about bringing it here as an exclusive this summer.
Well, you see there, somebody had asked about the foam, that orange foam that we were supposed to get, and basically they said that it was just kind of on the back burner. No real straight answer for that, but I'm figuring that, that was something that probably Dave was working on, so now it's no priority on that, and they're just going to see what happens, because they talked a little bit about money situation and trying to go for something with a higher price point, and that's why they put out the helicarrier. And so it wasn't really a straight answer. It was following that trend with not real straightforward answers.
I want to know about the Build figures. Last year at New York Comic Con, you guys showed Strife, which was awesome, and I'm wondering when that's coming. And also, are you guys going to keep going with small, big? You kind of touched on it a little bit, but are you going to get back to the big besides the Iron Man stuff?
Where it fits, yes. We are likely focused on minis for next year. In the main line, Iron Man is one of those brand extension lines, so that's where I kind of lied to you, but not really, because it is kind of just a little bit separate. Still Legends. Strife was never intended to be a Build-A-Figure. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys thought that might have been the case, but he was never part of that program. And
so yeah, if you peep somebody else's video, the full video of the panel, you'll see myself, Shardamus, and Slings asking questions. I mean, I guess you saw a little bit of those guys on this. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it in the final video, but yeah, I got to ask like the final questions or whatever, and still it wasn't really any straightforward answers, but I did try to tell them some of the things that I've been hearing from other people and try to, you know, put that forth. I think we all did that, but I don't know if they was really listening. I'm pretty sure Jesse and Dwight was kind of listening. I wasn't too fond of that new lady, from what I understand. I forget her name, but she came on from Transformers, and now she's working with Hasbro with the Legends and other Marvel product, I guess. So she didn't seem like she really knew too much of what was going on. She seemed very corporate, as Glenn put it in a comment on one of the in the Facebook group, which I thought was spot on. She just really don't give a fuck, I think. But we'll see. Still, like I said, pretty good news for the future of Legends. We still going strong. We still guaranteed two waves coming up, and probably another box set. So we'll see where it's going.
That's how we do it, son. A.C.B.A. style in the bar, bitch. LED, cut out. I did the Wolverine. Slings did the Psylocke. And Configure did the Archangel. There you have it. Which ones? Configure. Ryan over there.
BS, I ain't with the BS. Catch me in the city riding hard through the BS. Skinny nigga, but I do it large like a 3X. And last nigga tried to do me wrong, he checked. Right back to that money slinging.
Trip has come to an end. Drank everything. Ate all the special brownies there can be. And now I'm going home on a red eye.
My car sound like a T-Rex, bitch. I'm 23 years old and I ain't riding in the Prius.
In the home stretch of my trip, got a layover in Philly, so I'm in Philly right now, waiting for the next flight, which is like a 58-minute flight to New York City. Tired, I'm ready to get in my bag, my own bag.
Smoking good, that seaweed. Bad bitch and her cha-cha, grabbing on her chi-chis. $1 million deals on my email.